don't need a high-end designer or a lot of money to get a luxe look. Be your own interior designer.
This is Affordable Interior Design, the podcast.
Here's your host, Betsy Helmuth.
My next question comes from Allison in Vail, Colorado. Allison, I must say, Vail, Colorado is on my mind these days. I think another reason why my January depression is lifting is not just because the weather's getting slightly warmer, but also because the Olympics are on. I am an Olympic junkie. I watch hours every day. I record it. I can fast forward through the commercials so that way I can see everything I want to see, and I can see it all before they post the scores online. I stayed up till 2 a.m. last night watching all sorts of things. I was essentially waiting for Shaun White to qualify for the half pipe, and when he did, I just couldn't stop watching TV. I just kept it on because the Olympics are so enthralling. I myself have only been cross-country skiing. I've never downhill skied. The only thing I've done that's close to that is I went tubing a couple years ago, and it was a blast. But everybody in the Olympics is either from Utah or from Colorado, at least in the Winter Olympics, of course. And I am just so intrigued by their journey, their story. I think if I lived in the mountains all the time, I would be skiing a lot too. I'm a little bit of a klutz, so I'd probably have a lot of injuries, and maybe I wouldn't be skiing, but I would definitely be in the lodge for the après ski. You know what I'm saying, Allison? So yes, all those United States athletes from Colorado and Utah, good for you. I'm sending you awesome vibes, and I'll be watching you later today. All right, let's get into your question. You write, Betsy, I love your podcast. I spend hours hiking our beautiful Colorado trails, listening to your inspiring information. I appreciate your ability to combine affordable design solutions while still providing quality inspiration. We live in a 20-plus-year-old home, and we're starting to re-energize its current bones. I am replacing all of the baseboards and window casings to a 3 1/4 style shaker white trim. While doing this, I realized that my stair railing posts and handrails are completely trashed and outdated. I'm struggling with what to do with these. I do like the black cable railing systems, but I find them too outdoorsy for the interior entryway. The front door opens right up to the staircase, and I don't want something too busy because it's already a very tight area. I'm including some photos of the staircase from the front door and surrounding entryway photos. I appreciate any suggestions you may have. I look forward to listening to your podcast while going snowshoeing. Well, Allison, I am there with you. I either get jealous this time of year of people who are actively doing snow sports or people who live in Hawaii. It's one or the other. But checking out your pictures, which are a huge help. And guys, if you want to see her pictures, just go over to the Affordable Interior Design YouTube channel. They'll all be there. But they're very illuminating in terms of understanding what to do here. Because the number one thing that you want to do is you want to make all the architectural details in the home. So architectural details refer to things that are intrinsic to the home, built into the home, not furniture, not artwork, not wallpaper or paint, but those architectural finishes, be they, the renovation selections you've made in the bathroom or the kitchen, or of course, stairway selections. You want to make sure that they are cohesive with the era of the home, with the exterior of the home. The home itself should be saying one thing, right? You don't want it to look like you updated it over time and the bathroom is from the 80s, the kitchen is from the 90s, the entryways from the 60s. You want it to all look cohesive and in keeping with the style of the home. So while I have a lot of good pictures of your entryway, I don't have pictures of the home in general and the other finishes therein. That being said, I can give you some general advice about this stairway. So, first things first, I don't think you should do the cables either. I can tell that this home is not modern. And, I'm going to be using the term modern, but actually we should be using contemporary, right? Because modern refers to a specific era of interior design that happened in the 50s. And this is a contemporary style home inside. The tile is contemporary. Or, I'm sorry, this is not a super contemporary home. This is more like transitional. You mentioned it's 20 years old. Based on the paneling in the door, etc., I'm going to say that this is more of a transitional style home than a super contemporary style home, or like mid-century where everything is very clean lines, sleek, and minimal. That is not what this home is saying to me. So I would not do the cable balusters on the stairway. So I think you had good instincts there. The thing I would want to do is I would want to replace the balusters with something that's a little bit more simplistic. And for those of you who are wondering what balusters are, they are the spindles, right? So you have the handrail at the top. Then as it comes down, you have the newel post, which is that post at the very end of the stairway that often has some kind of decorative piece at the top. And then the spindles are those little pieces, the balusters are those little spindles that go all the way up the length of the stairway so that things don't fall through, right? So that kind of gives you a sense. And then there's typically a handrail on the other side. And I typically like the handrails and potentially even the newel post to be a different color, texture than the balusters. So the balusters might be that nice fresh white that's the same as the trim. But I typically like the handrail and the newel post to be a wood tone or a darker tone so that it camouflages fingerprints. So it camouflages wear and tear because that's where everyone's touching, right? That's the piece that gets all the action. So the darker that it is, the less white that it is, the more those things will be camouflaged. That's why I also like to keep them a wood grain, because if they're a wood grain, then there's some intrinsic patterning going on with that natural wood. And so again, it will further camouflage stains. If it's just painted black or just painted dark gray, you'll still be able to see those imperfections and chips. So that would be my takeaway, is that maybe we get some balusters, we still keep them white, but we make them a more contemporary style, something that's more middle of the road and less ornate. We still keep the newel post and we still keep the idea of transitional in our mind, but we don't do anything too sleek, and something much more minimal and clean. I hope that helped. There's a lot of ways to go. And when you're thinking about changes in terms of renovations, you do want to think about that house holistically. I can see some bronze here on the door handle. I'm just looking for any sort of finishes that I can latch on to. But then across the way, the other door has some silver. So you'll want to be really intentional with how you're mixing your metals. And if you choose to make the balusters metal instead of wood, maybe there's something like an iron baluster versus a wood baluster that could have some kind of decorative touch. When I was doing my railings outside on my patio, I looked at these different companies that do fences and railings, and it was all fairly uninspiring. And then somebody gave me the information for an iron worker who does build these railings, but instead of doing like prefab aluminum or something like that, he does each one forged by hand. And so he brought over this huge book, like it was 300 pages or something, with all the different options for balusters. It was so inspiring. I thumbed through every page and found these really unique balusters that have sort of this clover inset, because there are some balusters you'll find online that I think are really sold out. In other words, they're used too often and they really turn me off, especially as I'm looking for houses right now. I see so many like Home Depot style balusters. So if you do have the opportunity to use a craftsperson, a tradesman or woman, that can be a really great way to get a unique look. And it was so cheap because Those balusters were all pre-made too. They're just not what the builders are constantly selecting. So my home has this really custom look now, even though we literally clicked and bought those from a catalog. Is that TMI? Guys, it's been so long since I talked to you. I think I'm oversharing today, but bear with me. A big thank you to Aton and the Embassy who wrote our theme song. A shout out to Catherine Heller who owns the podcast shop and is our editor extraordinaire. We also want to thank Ginny Sunasan and her team at the Savvy Podcast Agency for their help with our social, our YouTube channel, and so much more. We also want to thank Uploft, which is our parent company who supports this podcast. And lastly, we owe a huge debt of gratitude to you. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all your support.